Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'll be discussing the design of one-way slab. Okay, so let's understand first. So the behavior of one-way slab. So one-way slab is actually once you measure the distance of the shorter span to its longer span. So when we say span, so a slab is defined uh, if it is supported. So actually we are going to analyze only those slabs supported by beams on its sides. Kasi we have different types of slab pa, no? So those are unsupported, without beams or flat slabs. So ito kasi mga supported by beams. So now we are going to analyze a one-way slab. So how can we define a one-way slab? One-way slab, if the shorter span to the longer span, so we measure the span center line of the supporting beams. So let's say this is your longer span and this is your shorter span. Once you measure the longer side over the shorter side and your answer is greater than or equal to 2, therefore, you have a one-way slab. What it is called one-way slab because the load distribution is only on one direction. Papunta lang dito yung assumption natin ng load path natin. So, hindi siya pupunta dito sa shorter beam. So, thus, this longer beam is subjected to a higher loads than this shorter beam. The deflection is also assumed that the one-way slab will deflect parallel to the shorter side. Okay? So, hindi siya magde-deflect parallel to the longer side. So, ito yung assumption natin when we design a shorter or one-way slab. Again, L over S is greater than or equal to 2. If that is less than 2, we call that two-way slab. Ako, ang technique ko, for me um, to easily look, no, without measuring the distances, by just looking at the panel, you can easily identify na one-way slab or two-way slab siya. For example, you have this panel, yan. So these are supported no sa lahat ng sides ng beams. All you have to do is to create two squares within that panel. So the dimension of the square is the shorter span. So, halimbawa, gagawa ko ng dalawang square dyan. Yan. Pag nakagawa ka ng dalawang square, tapos may sumobra pa, that is a one-way slab. Okay? The longer span is greater than the shorter span ng by 2. So that's the technique, no? By just looking at the slab panel, nakita mo yung flooring sa taas, you can easily identify na one-way or two-way slab siya. So, tansyahin mo, na kasya ba dalawang square dito? If yes, that is a one-way slab. Pag hindi nagkasya, for example, ganito yung ating slab, yun you try to draw two squares. Yan, isang square. Ito yung slab natin, no? Supported by, let's say, beams, no? May beams dyan. Then you try to draw two squares and then hindi nag-fit yung dalawang square, that is a two-way slab. So, iba kasi yung load distribution yan. No, hindi lang one-way yung load distribution. If we have a two-way slab, ganito yung magiging load distribution. So, triangular sa shorter span and then trapezoidal doon sa longer span. Kaya two-way kasi two direction yung pinupuntahan niya ng load from the slab to the beams. Mapupunta siya sa shorter beams and longer beams. Okay? So dito sa one-way slab, sa longer beam lang napupunta yung load path natin. Yung load coming from the slab. Okay. So, ayan. Greater than or equal to 2. This is how we put, no? We details the reinforcement doon sa ating one-way slab. As we can see here, we have here, ito yung i-design natin, yung main reinforcement. So, we have the main reinforcement. Makikita nyo, class, as we cut this section, or as we cut this section, we can observe that the main reinforcement is located at the bottom. Okay? However, if you are going to cut this section sa support, you can observe that the reinforcement is located at the top. Bakit? Because a slab behaves as a beam. Parehas yan ng behavior. Makikita nyo dito, nag-deflect siya ng paganito. 'Di ba sa from our understanding sa reinforced concrete beam, kapag nag-deform siya ng ganyan, nasa baba yung tension. So you have to provide sa baba ng reinforcement. Sa support naman, okay, if that is a continuous, both side, so continuous yan dito, hindi siya simple supported, thus it will act as a fixed support kapag rigid yan dyan. So pagka fixed support, di ba, let's say we have this, fixed dito, say this is a beam, this is the moment diagram of that beam. So negative at the support, negative at the support, and positive at the midspan. So for positive moment, it will, this is the deflected shape. Okay? For a positive moment, happy yung beam natin. For negative moment, sad yung beam natin. So that's why we provide the reinforcement at the top. So top sa support, bottom sa midspan. Similar to the beam behavior. No, actually, we're just analyzing here a beam na sobrang haba na as you cut this section, parallel to the longer side, para kang nag-a-analyze ng beam na sobrang haba ng kanyang width. Okay, and then you have the total depth of the slab, which is the thickness of the slab. So our goal here is to identify the thickness of the slab and the rebars, the main reinforcement na dapat natin gamitin for this slab. Okay? And this main reinforcement, actually, hindi bilang ang tinitignan natin, the spacing. The uniform spacing of this main reinforcement. Okay, now let's try to solve this sample problem. So we have here a floor system shown support the given pressure loads using approximate analysis. So later on, I'll explain what is approximate analysis. For the design loads, design all one-way slab with S1 bounded by the grid CD. So all of these S1 bounded by grid CD. Fortunately, these are all one-way slab because if we are going to calculate the S over L of this slab, 8 over 3, that is more than 2. Okay, isipin mo nga lang, no, dapat mapagkasya mo yung dalawang square within the panel. And that is a one-way slab. Okay, 8 over 3 is one-way slab. 8 over 3.5, one-way slab. 8 over 3.5, one-way slab. 8 over 3.5 is also a one-way slab. Okay, so we're going to design these 4 panels and then identify the thickness and the required spacing of the reinforcement na gagamitin natin dito. So using FC prime of 21 megapascal and FY for their main reinforcement. Anyway, meron pala tayong dalawang i-design dito. As you can see here, we have the main reinforcement. Aside from that, we also have here a temperature bars. Temperature bars is actually used for the shrinkage of concrete. Kasi pag walang bakal yan, pwedeng magkaroon ng cracks. Okay, due to the shrinkage of the concrete. So the temperature bar is parallel to the longitudinal reinforcement. Usually, pinapatong lang siya dyan. Ito yung main bars mo, papatong mo dito yung longitudinal, yung reinforcement mo parallel to the longitudinal direction. So, that is temperature bars. So, yung pag-design ng temperature bars, hindi mo na kailangan ng flexural moment, ng demand moment, ng moment na kailangan ng slab mo. So, temperature lang. Minimum reinforcement lang ilalagay. However, for main bars, it requires moment. So, we have to identify the moment acting on the support, the moment at the midspan, the moment at the support. Kasi kung wala tayong moment, wala tayong masosolve na required area of rebars and the required spacing. Again, this is just the design of singly reinforced. We are just designing singly reinforced beam here. No? Paano tayo nag-design ng singly reinforced? Nag-analyze, same lang dito sa slab. Going back here, so these are the given. So we have the floor finish, we have the ceiling, okay? So we have the ceiling, electromechanical. So these are loads coming from chapter 2 of NSCP. Let's say floor finish. Chapter 2 of NSCP gives us the dead loads and live loads. No? Let me open the NSCP 2015 and uh, share to you. So how can we calculate these loads acting on the slab? Okay, so let me open the NSCP 2015. Okay, so this chapter of NSCP provide us a guide on what load should be considered on the design. So meron tayong section 204, the dead loads of the NSCP. So halimbawa, the finishes na ginagamit natin. So, dito yan, the floor finish. Let's say you use asphalt block on your floor finish, your cement finish, 25 mm on stone concrete fill, ceramic quarry tile, you use tiles. Okay, so you use ceramic or quarry tile on 25 millimeter mortar bed. If I'm not mistaken, yun natin ginamit ko dito for the floor finish. So, ayan, tiles, no? So, you can use 1.1 or kung ano man yung specific na gagamitin mo doon sa slab mo, kung ano mismong finish. So, you have the ceiling. So, nandito yan, yung mga ceiling weight. Let's say you're going to use gypsum board per millimeter of thickness to, no? Kung ano man yung gypsum board na gagamitin mo. So, you multiply it to the thickness. So, you have the load in kilopascal. So, these are in kilopascal, meaning these are in pressure loads. So, that is evenly distributed on the entire slab, no? Okay, next we have the electromechanical, though it is not um particularly identified doon sa NSCP natin. So, this is the usual value of electrical and mechanical ducts na pwede nating ilagay dito. Usually ranges from 0.2 to 0.5 kilopascal, pero depende pa rin yan doon sa type ng structure na gagamitin nyo. Structure. So, this is reasonable value, 0.2 kilopascal. Concrete unit weight, this is mentioned on the NSCP. Unit weight in kilonewton per cubic meter. So, that is, of course, the slab is a concrete. So, meron siyang sariling bigat. So, as mentioned here on the NSCP, the unit weight of concrete, stone, including gravel, ito yon reinforced concrete. So, that is 23.6. Ang ginamit ko na lang sa problem na 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. Okay? Then you have the live load. So I'm not sure or if you're not sure kung anong purpose nito, okay? So you have to check the architectural plan. No? So check kung ano ba yung purpose ng area mo ng slab. So pupunta ka dito sa live load. Okay? And then identify kung ano yung para saan yung area na yon. For example, we are designing a hospital. Yung mga wards or rooms, you have to put a 1.9 kilopascal of the live load. This is live load, yung mga moving loads, non-permanently attached to the structure. Pag dead load kasi permanently attached na yon. Yung self-weight ng concrete, yung mga styles natin, yung ceiling, permanently attached na yon. Yung mga electromechanical, yan. Pero pag mga live load tayo, these are not permanently attached to the structures. So, check dun sa NSCP kung ano yan. So, let's say, a laboratories, 2.9 kilopascal. So, ganun siya, no? So, ito ang ginamit natin, 2.4 kilopascal. The beam size, given 300 millimeter by 600 millimeters. Okay? So, now, how do we start our design? So, first, let's identify the minimum thickness required by the code for a one-way slab. The minimum thickness. So how can we identify the minimum thickness? So let's get a strip. So this will be our reference, no? A strip parallel to the shorter span. So we analyze this strip. Okay, that strip. So kuha ka lang ng strip kasi that is a long slab, 8 meters. Okay. So kuha ka lang ng strip parallel to the shorter span. Take note ha, parallel to the shorter span. And um, that strip will be your reference for your minimum thickness H. Ito kasi yung kailangan natin, yung L na yan. Okay? So that L, if we have a simply supported slab, okay, what do we mean by simply supported slab? A simply supported slab, yung mga panel yan na wala ng katabi sa magkabilaan. Let's say, ito yung panel natin, ito yung shorter span na, tapos wala na siyang katabi dito, magkabilaan. Ito kasi, yung slab natin dyan, may katabi pa siya. Sa left side, sa isang side, sa right side, wala siyang katabi. Okay, so we identify the support condition of each panel na dinedesign natin. So ito, ano bang type ng slab ito? So yung strip natin, ano ba yung type ng support niya? May support ba sa kabila? Wala yan. Pero dito, may support pa siya. So anong tawag natin yan? Kapag isa lang yung support. So when you say, I mean, isa lang yung continuous side, not literal support, kasi may support nga yan na beam, but the continuous side, we are looking kung continuous pa ba yung slab na yon. So dito discontinuous na siya, dito continuous pa. Pag both are discontinuous, simply supported yon. Pag isa lang yung continuous, ito po siya, one and continuous. So therefore, this one is one and continuous. One and continuous din to. So meaning the minimum thickness of the slab is L over 240. Okay? Both and continuous. This one, itong slab na to, itong panel na to, at itong panel na yan, ay both and continuous sila. Okay? Both and continuous. Cantilever slab. So what do we mean by cantilever slab? Let's say this is your strip and then you try to remove this beam. Oh, hindi mo na nilagyan dyan ng beam. Nasa isa lang yung beam na supported siya. Okay, so kung i-drawing natin, ito yung beam na support, tapos dito yung slab natin na panel. If you are going to check this section, wala na siyang ano, no? Wala na, we remove this beam. Okay, that is a cantilever slab. Usually, nangyayari siya sa mga balcony na hindi na natin lalagyan ng support pa on the other side, no? Pero dapat mga maikling span lang yun, no? Usually 1 meters. Pero pag ganito dapat na 3.5 meters, you have to put yung support na ulit dito or beam on the other side kasi tataas yung deflection nun. Okay, we also calculate the deflection, no? Ito, parang beam, similar as beam. Okay, so with that, let's identify the minimum thickness of each of this slab. Let's start with this one, the one end continuous. So the formula for one end continuous is L over 24. So what is L? L is the length of that strip. Okay, center to center of the beam. Center to center of the beam. Okay, so that is your L. So we also need the L over 28 for both end continuous. Okay, and L over 24 para dito. Okay. So, let's identify. Kasi parehas itong kailangan L over 24. Itong dalawang slab na to, they are just similar slab. Kasi parehas sila ng dimension. Parehas pang continuous yung end nila. Both end continuous. So, isa na lang ang computation natin dito. Parehas lang naman nabibigay ng result. However, these are discontinuous slab. Ito rin ay discontinuous slab. Pero, magkaiba sila ng magiging L. So, let's compute their thickness, no? Separately. So, inahin natin to. In millimeters to kasi thickness na makukuha mo dito should be in millimeters. So, let's use millimeter na dimension for 3 meters. So, that will be 3,000 divided by 24. So, dito naman, that is 3,500 divided by 28. And this is 3,500 divided by 24. Pero hindi pa natatapos yung formula natin dyan dahil may note tayo dito. So for expression applicable for normal weight of concrete and Fy of 420 and no, for normal weight of concrete and Fy na 420. However, if you are not using 420 megapascal to be exact, your H shall be modified in accordance with the section 407. Ito yon. So may multiplier pa tayo. Fy other than 420 megapascal. Ano ba yung Fy na ginamit natin? We're referring here to the main bar, no, na gagamitin natin parallel to the short span. Take note, ha? The main bar is parallel to the short span. Yung Fy natin is 345 megapascal, hindi 420. So thus, we're going to use this multiplier. So, i-multiply pa natin yan dito. Okay, so ito yung magiging final formula natin for the minimum thickness of the slab. Okay, so we have um, uh, Multiply natin. So, 0.4 Fy over 700. Okay, so answer, pitin natin isa-isa. So, we have 110.607. This one is 111.607 din. So, they have the same answer. And this is 130.208 millimeters. Okay, since we are designing the slabs here, obviously, we don't want to have a slab na magkakaiba-iba yung thickness. No, usually in a construction, we always want a uniform thickness sa lahat na yun ng slab. No, but for exam, if we are just asked to design this slab, just focus on this slab, identify the thickness of that slab. No, yun lang yung focus natin. Pero kung ipinapadesign sa atin lahat to, reality kasi you have to design all the slab. Obviously, you are just going to select one uniform slab for the entire na lahat na. For the entire floors na. Sa second floor, sa third floor, you are going to use the similar thickness of the slab. So sa case na to, what do you think will be our uniform slab sa lahat ng panel na to na dinedesign natin? So doon tayo sa safe. No? So, anong gagamitin natin? For the minimum thickness of the slab, so we use what? Okay, ito, yung 130.208 millimeters. But of course, ayaw mo na may ganyan na thickness ng slab sa construction. Kasi naka-millimeter ka na, naka 3 decimal place ka pa. Okay, usually, the construction, sa mga construction, we use divisible by 10. Okay, so it depends on the structural engineer kung paano niya isa-set yung kanyang minimum. But make sure, no, if this is your minimum, do not round down. Dapat pataas ka. Okay, so for our lecture purposes, para maging uniform ang thickness nating slab for our calculation, so we are going to round up by 5 millimeters. Yun po yung usapan natin, by 5 millimeters para uniform ang answer. But in reality, if you're now going to design a structure, it's up to you kung paano mo siya i-round. Basta madali siyang i-construct dun sa madali siyang gawin sa construction. Okay, so that is 135 millimeters. This will be our thickness na gagamitin for the next procedures or next designs, which is i-design na natin yung main reinforcement. We need the load. Okay, so these are the pressure loads acting on the slab. So let's separate the dead load, and these are the live loads. Okay, so let's add all the dead load, but make sure all loads must be in kilopascal. So as we can see here, 24 kilonewton per cubic meter is not in kilopascal. Naka-kilonewton per cubic meter siya. Yan kasi yung bigat ng slab. Naka per cubic meter. So let's say this is your slab. So how can you make it a pressure loads? So that is kilonewton. Paano matatanggal yung isang dimension dyan na meter? Okay, so kilonewton per cubic meter. Saan mo siya i-multiply para maging pressure load siya acting distributed or acting uniformly distributed on the entire area? How can we make it a distributed pressure load? So all you have to do is to multiply it by the thickness of the slab. Unit weight ng concrete times the thickness of the slab, that is already a pressure load. Okay, now, multiplying it with the thickness of the slab, the concrete density, okay, and then, actually, we are going to convert, since we are going to analyze a beam, parang mag-analyze tayo ng beam dyan, dapat may makita tayo na uniformly distributed load. Okay, yun yung makikita natin. And magde-deform siya, class, parallel to the short span. Short span yung ina-analyze natin. Let's go back to the slab panel. Okay, ito. So let's take a look with this strip. So yan yung ina-analyze natin. So, isang strip lang. Ano bang dimension ng strip na binamention natin? A 1 meter strip. Gagawa tayo ng beam na 1 meter strip. No, ganito yung mangyayari dyan. I-analyze natin. So, kukuha tayo ng 1 meter strip na beam. So, yung dimension nito, class, is shorter span. Okay, yung length niya is shorter span. And your cross-section, this one is 1 meter length. Okay? Now, this is loaded with pressure load. So, may pressure load siya dyan. So, how can we make it a uniformly distributed load so that if we look at the side, parallel to the shorter span, meron siya dito uniform load na naka-kilonewton per meter kasi magka-calculate tayo later ng moment. Okay? Depende pala yan sa support. Hindi lagi siyang simply supported. So later, magka-calculate tayo ng moment. Okay? The kilonewton per meter. How can we convert this pressure load into kilonewton per meter? So we are just going to concentrate the loads papunta sa gitna. Okay? So concentrate lang natin yung loads diyan by multiplying it to 1 meters. So your pressure load must be multiplied to 1 meter strip. That's why may multiplier to dito na 1 meter. Okay, so let's do no. Let's calculate. So we have 1.1 plus 0.8 plus 0.2 plus 24. This is the floor finish, ceiling, electromechanical, and then the unit weight of concrete. Then multiply it to the thickness of the slab that we calculated earlier. So times the 1 meter strip. Okay, so with that, so the uniform dead load in kilonewton per meter is 5.34 kilonewton per meter. So we also have the live load. Dito wala na tayong i-add. So that is the pressure load. Due to the live load acting on our structure, that is 2.4 kilopascal, just convert it into kilonewton per meter by multiplying it to 1 meter strip. So our answer is 2.4 kilonewton per meter. So since in the design of the reinforced concrete, we always need, so in the ultimate stress design, remember, we always need the factored load. So we have to factor these loads. So we are going to use the 1.4, 1.2 dead load plus 1.6 live load because obviously, instead of, kasi meron pang isang load combination, di ba? The 1.4 dead load. So I guess this will govern. Let me just check if these will be the governing load combination. Okay, so we have, let me just check kung yan ba talaga yung governing load combination. Okay. Kasi if we are going to check the other load combination, so we have 1.4 of dead load. So we have 2.4. That's the live load. 5.34. So this is only 7.476. However, upon checking this is 10.248. So, kasi 'di ba dalawa yung if you have dead load and live load so these are the load combination that you can use on reinforced concrete. 1.4 dead load, then 1.2 dead load plus 1.6 live load. So obviously, this load combination is higher than 1.4 dead load. So we are going to use this factored. This is the factored uniformly distributed load in kilonewton per meter. Okay? Now we are going to design na yung slab. Meron na tayong loads. Okay? And these are the strip that we are going to consider. Okay? So we are going to use approximate analysis. Bakit? Kasi matagal pag nag-structural analysis tayo. Okay? So maraming way para makuha yung mga moment dito. Yan, dyan. Pwede ka mag-structural analysis for accurate, finite element analysis that is higher, that is more, which is more complex. So para mas madali, we can use the um, approximate analysis given by the code. So all you have to do is to assume or to cut this section parallel to the strip we created. Okay, so if you're going to check the cross section, ito po yung cross section natin nung slab natin. Okay, so how do we perform um the approximate analysis? So under approximate analysis, so we are solving here the negative bending moment at the face of the support. Yung support na kinoconsider natin ng slab is the beam. Okay? Yung support ng slab ay yung mga biga natin. So may support yan dito, may support. So kinukuha natin, ito yung ating support, ito yung ating beam. Kinukuha natin yung moment. Okay, ito yung support natin. Kinukuha natin yung moment doon mismo sa dulo ng slab natin. Okay? And then sa midspan, kinukuha natin yung moment diyan. So, if the structure is loaded with uniform load, no other loads, wala tayong uplift force, so this is the moment diagram. Approximate moment diagram. Instead of using structural analysis, matrix analysis, okay, you can use approximate analysis, no, for the design of the slab. How do we use this? This table 406.5.2 is approximate moment for pre-stress and continuous beam and one-way slab. So this is applicable for one-way slab. So how do you use this? So you have the positive moment and the negative moment. So let's focus first on the positive moment. So let's say this is your continuous span. Let's look at the positive bending moment. Ito po yon. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na end span and interior span. Saan ba yung end span? Obviously, nasa dulo yon. Okay, these are end span. Okay, nasa dulo. Yan, nasa dulo yung end span natin. So, interior span, ito po yun. We are looking at the positive moment muna. No? Discontinuous end, integral with support, discontinuous end, unrestrained. So, dalawa lang naman yung titignan mo dyan. Yung end span mo ba? Ito po yun, end span, end span. Is it with support or unrestrained? Pag sinabing with support, halimbawa ito yung slab natin, may beam yan sa dulo. Pag ito yung slab natin, may beam siya sa kanyang dulo. Okay? With support ba doon sa end niya? Doon sa discontinuous end we're looking at the discontinuous end. Ito kasi, itong slab na to, itong end span na to, end span siya kasi we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spans. Okay? So, itong end span na to, ito yung continuous end. This is the discontinuous end. Ngayon, ang tanong, ang discontinuous end ba niya ay may support? Yes, because slab is supported with beam. Pag wala siyang support, cantilever slab yon. Pag tinanggal mo tong beam na to, cantilever slab. At ito yung tinutukoy doon na unrestrained. Kapag with support daw, yung moment mo dyan is WU ln squared over 14. Okay, WU ln squared over 14. Ano yung WU? Ito po, yung kinompute natin kanina, may WU na tayo. Ano yung LN? Yung LN is different from the LN na ginamit natin previously, yung nag-solve tayo dito ng thickness. Yung LN na natin ngayon is, though parallel pa rin tayo shorter span, pero yung LN natin is clear span na po yun. When we say clear span, hindi siya center to center of the beam. Remember yung LN na ginamit natin kanina when identifying the thickness of the slab? That is center to center of the grids or the beams. Ngayon, clear span na lang po yung gagamitin. Okay? So may formula na provided na dito, meron na lang tayong mga denominator. So magiging iba-iba yung denominator niya, depende kung ano masasatisfy natin dito sa mga conditions. So, dun muna tayo ulit. Balik tayo. Okay, for the end span, so pag maglalagay kayo ng mga values dito, pababa yung gawin natin. For the end span, since with support yung ating mga end span, ayan, yung discontinuous end nila with support, so our fixed coefficient, so lagay mo na lang natin yung mga coefficient. Kasi para-parehas yan na may W, ln squared. W, ln squared, W. Lahat sila may ganyan. Pero magkakaiba-iba yung mga values nila doon sa mga, tawagin natin silang coefficient. Kasi yung previous name nito is actually coefficient method. Instead of approximate analysis, coefficient method, yung previous name ng table na ito. Okay, this is also 1 over 14 because this is end span. Okay, we have the discontinuous end with support. So we are going to use same lang, 1 over 14. So ano lang na yung natitira sa atin? Interior span. Regardless kung ano man yung tsura ng interior span mo, lahat na yan ay 1 over 16 ang kanilang magiging coefficient. Next, interior face of exterior support. Okay. So we have, again, our support here ay mga biga, beam. Okay. So these are your supports. So these are exterior support. You have the first, from exterior, you have the first interior support. From exterior, you have the first interior support. Okay. So we're looking at the first interior support. Okay. Exterior, we're looking at dito muna tayo, exterior support muna pala. Sorry. Exterior support. Then we're looking at the interior face. So, ito kasi yung exterior face natin. Tapos ito yung slab. Okay. Ito na yung dulong beam natin, ha? So, bakit siya tinawag na exterior support? Kasi nasa dulo siya. Bakit may tinatawag na interior face? May dalawang face kasi yan. Yung face na to, na nakaturo sa interior. Ito naman yung face na nasa dulo na. Obviously, wala tayong pake sa moment dyan. Dulo na yan eh. So, dito tayo may pake. Kung ano man yung moment dito. So, tawag dyan is interior face. This one. interior face of the exterior support. Ito rin, interior face din siya na exterior support. Ano daw yung moment dyan? Depende. Kung ano ba yung support na nakalagay? Ano ba tong support na to? Is it a beam or a column? So obviously, ang support lang naman ng slab ay beam. Okay? So technically, we're going to use 1/24 para dyan and 1/24 para dito. So we're done with the interior face of the exterior support. Next, we have the first interior support. So ito po yon, first exterior support. First exterior support. May dalawang face yan. Exterior face, facing the exterior. Interior face, facing the interior. Exterior and interior face. This is the interior support, first interior support, facing the exterior, facing the interior. So, ano man tinutukoy dito? Exterior face, facing the exterior. Ano daw yung moment sa point na to? Ano yung moment sa point na yan? Depende kung ilang span ang ina-analyze natin. So, sa case na to, class, lahat to ay one-way slab. So, we have 4 spans. Dahil ay 4 spans ang ina-analyze natin, we have more than 2 spans. Ang coefficient natin is 1/10. Coefficient natin is 1/10. Okay? We're done with this, exterior face. And then, ito na, yung pinakalas mo, face of other supports. So, lahat na ng support na natitira, obviously, doon yan sa negative moment na tayo pala, no, nasa negative. Lahat yan ay coefficient mo, 1/11. Okay? So, yan na. May mga coefficients ka na. Lalagyan mo na lang siya ng WU ln squared. Okay? So, let's proceed sa paglagay ng WU ln squared. So, actually, natin-nabulate ko na yan dito. Ito na yung magiging mga moment na yan. Okay? So, mag-example lang tayo nung magiging moment. Marami kasing moment na i-design tayo dito. So, mag-example lang tayo. For example, ito, ano yung magiging moment dyan? Remember ang WU natin, ito yung uniformly distributed load. This one, that is 10.248. So we have 10.248. This is our WU or the factored load. That is uniform to the entire slab kasi we are assuming na para-parehas yung thickness ng slab, yung material ng slab na ginamit, ceiling, floor finish. Okay, so para-parehas na lang yung WU nila, yung uniformly distributed load. That is 10.248 kilonewton per meter. 10.248 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so we are going to calculate at may beam dimension pa rin pala tayo na binigay dito. So this is 3 meters. Pero hindi yan yung magiging LN mo, ha? Ang magiging LN mo dyan ay babawasan mo ng dimension ng biga, ng beam. Okay, yan yung kailangan ni formula. So, this is 3 meters. So, bawasan natin class ng, kaya given dito yung beam dimension. 300 millimeter is the width of the beam and the total depth is 600. So, we are going to reduce it by 300 millimeter. Both side 150. Bawasan natin to. Kalahating 150 dito. Okay. Kalahati 150, kalahati 150. So, total of 0.3. So, this will be now 2.7 ang magiging LN and this will be now from 3.5 magiging 3.2 na lang siya. This is also 3.2. From beam to beam to ha, not column to column. So, from beam to beam to ha. Okay, beam to beam. Kasi, yun yung face ng ating slab. Okay, from beam to beam. So, this is also 3.2. This is equal to this is 3.5 meters, 3.2 rin. Okay? Now let's see kung ano yung magiging value ng moment nila. So all you have to do is to follow the formula WU ln squared. So for example, 1/14. So WU, so 10.248. ln natin is 2.7 squared over the denominator na 14. So we have 5.336. Let's see kung tama. Oops. Yan, tama. Positive. Kasi ito yung isang span natin, slab na 2.7 meters. Ito yung nasa positive tayo. Sa gitna. 5.336. Okay, para sa gitna. Okay. So next naman dito sa may 1/24. Okay. So try natin kung lalabas. WU, LN, of course, ito pa rin yung LN natin, yung 2.7. Okay. So WU, LN squared. So we are looking for the moment at this support of this slab. So WU, LN squared over 24. So we have a value of moment na 3.113. So let's see kung tama yung nandoon sa table. 3.113. Yan, correct. So how about this moment? Okay? So, dyan na medyo kakaiba kasi basahin natin tong footnote na to. To calculate the negative bending moment, Ln shall be the average of the adjacent clear span. Itong span na to, class, may adjacent sa na span. Therefore, yung Ln na gagamitin in calculating this moment na may coefficient na 1/10, in calculating the Ln shall be the average of 2.7 and 3.2 para sa pag-calculate ng moment dito. So let's see kung ano magiging value niya, no? Ng magiging moment diyan. WU, Ln, pero babaguhin mo yung Ln mo, hindi 2.7. Ia-average mo, class. Okay? Ia-average natin dito yung dalawang adjacent na length na 2.7 plus 3.2 over 2. Divided by the coefficient, ang coefficient natin dyan is 10. So, ginagawa mo lang to, class, sa negative moment na may mga adjacent na beam, ha? Hindi mo siya gagawin dito. Dito, sa 1/24 kasi wala siyang adjacent na beam. Hindi mo rin siya gagawin dito sa 1/14 kasi positive bending moment siya. Okay? So, clear ba yon? Sa negative bending moment lang, ha, na may adjacent. Okay? So, ayan. Sa answer dito, para sa moment na to, 8.918. So, let's see kung yun ba yung lumabas sa right side. Yes, 8.918. Ayun, i-calculate mo lang lahat ng moment nila using the formula. Okay? So, for example, sige nga, try natin. What will be the moment at this point? So, sa grid 4 of span 3-4. Sa grid 4 of span 3-4. So, what will be the moment? Grid 4 of span 3-4. Ito yung uniform load mo, ha? Ito yung mga, actually, kahit i-average mo pala to, no? Same din ng ano, no? Ng length. Okay. So, yeah, let's calculate, no? Pag in-average natin yon 3.2 rin parehas. 3.2 over 2. Then, over, ang coefficient natin, over 11. Okay. So, we have 9.5. Let's check nga. Okay. 4 of grid 3, 4. Okay. 4 of grid 3, 4. Yan. So, we have 9 point. Yeah, 9.540. So, you calculate all the moments. So, these are the flexural moments acting on the beam natin. Okay, so, yun, may moment na tayo, class. Pwede na tayong mag-design. Anyway, before we proceed with the design of reinforcement, do you have any question, guys, for solving these moments? Question ba kayo? Clear ba yon? Solve natin ng moments. Can I see a thumbs up if clear naman yun, guys? Okay, sige. How about the others? Okay, okay, sige. We now have the value of moment. So dito, moment ka na. Parang nag-analyze ka lang ng beam na may moment. Just after that, how do you analyze? Okay, so how can we compute this? Actually, I use here a formula. So let me just derive again the formula. No, you have I believe I discussed the two solutions in solving the required area in analysis of beams. Okay? So let me just recall yung analysis na yun. Okay? So, di ba, this is our beam, cross-section of the beam. But for now, we are analyzing a beam with a cross-section of 1,000 millimeters. Kasi this is our strip. Ito yung nakaka-experience ng moment na sinolve natin with a certain thickness. Sabihin na lang muna nating B siya. And this is your thickness. Okay? So, and then this, let's say negative bending moment yung sinasagot natin. Okay? So, this is your effective depth. Effective depth. Same pa rin ang stress strain diagram yan, class. Okay, if we're going to draw the stress strain diagram, same pa rin yan. We have stress strain diagram, we have the stress diagram. Okay, so yun. 0.85 FC prime, and then you have the compression. Compression force is 0.85 FC prime AB, and you have the tension. We are designing, no? So, pag nagde-design, so we use the yielding stress, ASFY. So we calculate C is equal to T. Okay, from C is equal to T, you want to solve the AS. Okay, so but unfortunately, you don't have the value of A. Bago ka pumunta dyan, so kailangan mo munang isolve yung value ng A by taking the value of moment. So you have the moment capacity, you just equate it to the nominal moment or to the design moment capacity. The reduction factor for the design is 0.9. So you have moment is force, compression times distance. Ito yung gamitin natin, compression force, 0.85 FC prime AB, and then the distance between the two force is D minus A over 2. So you have the moment. Ito yung moment na kinumpute natin, factored moment. So mas-solve mo dyan yung A. Pagka-solve mo yung A, isalpak mo sa C is equal to T. C is equal to T, 0.85 FC prime AB is equal to AS FY. So, masasolve mo dyan sa AS. So, pag sinolpak mo dito si A natin. So, may AS ka na. Ito yon, may AS ka na dito. AS required. Pwedeng ganun yung solution mo, class, para magka-AS required ka dito. Okay, let's see kung parehas ba makukuha natin. Okay? So, ididiretso ko na sa calculus just to show to you na pwedeng diretso sa calculus pag nagka-calculate kayo, no? Let's say you're designing a slab. Pa-follow natin tong ano na to. Itong ginagamit natin nung nag-analysis tayo. Kasi we have two ways eh. Pwede rin ganito, yung naka-base on steel ratio, yung na-derive natin na formula na mu is equal to 0.9 rho PD squared. Ito ko yung formula. Okay, so rho BD squared over Fy. Okay ba yan? Okay. 1 minus rho Fy ata, rho Fy. Anyway, so mamaya derive natin ulit. Kaya na lang. Derive natin ulit yung formula ng yung ginamit ko dito para ma-solve tong AS. Tumaan pa ako ng steel ratio. So, anyways, so ito na lang muna. So, much same lang naman yan na magiging sagot. Okay, so let's say I have the the factored moment of 1.3. Anyway, so you have to solve the effective depth muna pala kasi you need that to your formula, effective depth. We have the thickness. How do we solve the effective depth? Unlike the beam, slab does not contain any stirrup. So diretso na yan sa main bars. So what is the minimum concrete cover for that main bar? So the minimum concrete cover, take note of this, if this is not given on the problem, the minimum cover ng bakal natin, class, is 20 mm ng slab. Sa slab yan, 20 mm. So, you have the total thickness, you reduce it by 20 mm and half of the rebar na gagamitin. Yan lang, diretso na siya. So, let's say, ang na-compute natin, di ba, 135. Minus natin ng 20 mm. And then, the main bar na gagamitin natin dito is, from the problem, ano bang main bar dito? I guess, it is 10 mm diameter of the main bar. Diretso ka na doon. After the cover, diretso ka na doon sa main bar natin. Okay, wala nang stirrups na dadaanan. We don't have any stirrups dito, class, no? For the slab. Okay, so 20, 135 minus 20 minus 10 over 2. So, 10 over 2. So, this will be now your effective depth, 110 millimeters. Okay, so that's why 110 mm ang nakalagay dito. Okay, so, next is, yan, ipoprove lang natin na yun yung AS natin na required dyan. Okay, so we have 3.113 times 10 raised to 3. 6 rather, kasi Newton mm. Dapat dito. So, 0.9 moment. So, ito yung na-derive natin. Ito yung procedure natin, class. Kunin muna natin C. We equate the force doon sa factored moment. We have the distance D minus A over 2. So, we have 0.85 of FC prime. So, the FC prime here is given. We are going to use 21 megapascal. So, we don't know that the depth of compression block. The width of the beam is set to 1,000 millimeter. Take note of that. No? Always use 1,000 millimeter for the width of the beam na ina-analyze natin. Na slab, rather. Kasi 1 meter strip. Then, the effective depth is 110 minus A over 2. Okay, so with that, we can solve the thickness of the depth of compression block. Let's say mga 50 kalahati. Okay, so the depth of compression block is equal to, tama ba yung pagkakatype? Oops, parang ang liit. 0.9, 0.85 FC D minus 8. Okay, so we have that value. Sige, okay lang, store natin. Yan, this is the value of A. And then we will proceed to this equation. AS. Ito na, no? Solve na natin yung AS. Sir, do we have to check the value of C kung nasa tension control? Di ba, on the design, so we are checking if it is doubly or singly by checking the value of C. For the design of slab class, lagi siyang magsisingly. Bakit? Kasi ang laki ng compression block mo. Okay, ang laki ng compression block mo. Imagine that very large compression block. So it will cause that the rebar here to yield. Magkukause yan na mag-yield. Mataas yung magiging strain yan. Pag ganyan kalaki yung compression block. Remember the T-beams? Di ba ang T-beams, ang laki-lagi ng compression block. Tapos ano nangyayari dun sa bakal? Ang taas lagi ng strain. So you don't have to check the value of sineto. Pwede mo nang i-skip yon. Hindi mo na kailangan i-check kung singly or doubly. Ang slab class, lagi siyang one way. Lagi kasi ng compression block. Okay, pwede mo na i-skip. Diretso ka na sa 0.85. FC prime, A times B over Fy. Fy na ginamit is 345 megapascal. So this is your AS, required area of the steel. 91.9. Okay, ito iba yung approach na ginamit ko dito. Dumaan pa ako ng steel omega. Dumaan pa ako ng steel ratio. Pero you can actually use na lang yung hindi derived formula para hindi nyo nakabisaduhin yung derived formula. Doon na lang tayo sa C is equal to T at saka yung moment. Okay? Ayan. So, we have now the required area of the steel. So, di ba, we always check if this required is greater than the minimum. Hindi pwedeng yan na yon. So, lahat yan, i-check mo yung required. Yan. Check mo yung required nila. Then, check the minimum requirement of the code. Baka kasi mas maliit. Sobrang onti ng bakal mo. Pag may moment ka, pare-parehas naman yan klase. Ang gagawin mo na lang dyan, actually, pwede kang this is just a result from Excel. If you have a lot of slab to be designed, puro one-way slab, input mo lang yung moment mo. Okay. And then, similar na yan ang formula. Similar ka naman kasi ng thickness eh. If you can observe, pwede may isalpak dito eh, no? Halimbawa, yung AS yung sinosolve mo dyan, Tapos, AS 0.85 FC prime AB over FY. Tapos yung ABO, dito, galing dito. Solve mo yung A dyan. Yan. So, ito lang naman nagbabago eh. Moment lang. Bago-bago lang yung moment. Pare-parehas yung beam mo. Yung width ng beam kasi you are considering 1 meter strip. Pare-parehas yung magiging effective depth mo kasi you are considering similar thickness of the slab. So, magbabago yung moment. Magbabago yung AS. Magbabago. So, depende yung moment natin. Ano yung moment? Magbibigay siya ng required area of steel. But you have to check if this required area of steel is greater than the minimum requirement of the code. Okay, balik tayo dito. So, ayan, hindi ko na iisa-isahin to class. Check nyo na lang kung tama yung nakuha dito. Ayan, yung mga required na yan. Pare-pares lang naman kasi yung solution. Parang nagde-design ka lang ng beam. Diba? Na lagi siyang mag-yield. Ito lang yung kagandahan dito. Laging siyang mag-yield. Di mo na kailangan i-check yung C compared sa C-max. Maraming way kung para malaman kung singly or doubly. You may compute the maximum moment na capacity ng singly reinforced beam. Pero hindi mo na kailangan gawin yon. Kasi lagi namang nasa tension control section ang slab. Okay? Dahil ang laki ng compression block nito. Anyway, we have to check the minimum thickness of the slab as mentioned by the code. For the one-way slab, the minimum thickness is 0.002 area ng gross. So, area ng gross, if you have a deformed bars or the FY na gagamitin natin or steel bar na less than 420 megapascal. So sa given na to, we are using 345 megapascal of FY. So we are going to use this formula. If not, use this formula kung ano man yung greater daw dito sa dalawa na to. Okay, since ang ginagamit natin is 345 megapascal, so we'll be using this formula for the AS minimum, 0.002 area ng gross. So what do we mean by area ng gross? So again, we are analyzing a 1 meter strip. So this is 1,000 millimeter. And you have the thickness of the slab of 135. When we say gross, so you're looking at this cross section. Yan. Yan yung tinitignan natin na cross-section. 1,000 by 135. So that will be your AS mean. So let's see kung ano magiging value niyan. 0.002 ng 1,000 by 135. This is in millimeters. So the minimum requirement is 270. So ilagay natin dito. Ito yung mga na-solve natin individually. Every type of moment. So we have a required AS. And then this is the AS mean. So we're just looking at the governing AS, okay, governing area of the steel. So of course, larger value will govern. So 270 dito, 270 ganyan talaga class ang sa design ng sa slab. Na laging minimum ang nag-govern. Especially yung mga slab na magbababa lang yung kine-carry na loads. Okay, so let's say ito kasi ano lang 'to, 2.4 kilopascal is mababa lang yung live load niyan eh. So sa mga let's say mga storage facilities, yung matataas na yung live load, doon na nag-govern yung AS required. Pero dito meron naman katulad ng uh, beam na to, itong slab na to, 286 yung nag-govern na required. But mostly talaga for the design of the slab, especially pag residential, pag lang kasi yung slab na 1.9 kilopascal yung live load, AS mean lagi yung nag-govern. Okay, for this area, so ito siya, no? So, 286.5 and dito no medyo mataas siya kasi mataas yung moment. Bakit kaya mataas yung moment dito? 3.2 meter yung length ng slab, shorter span. At bakit tumaas kaya dyan sa part na yan? Let's see, no? Dahil 3.2 ang length niya, 3.2 rin yung katabi niya. So, yung nag-average sila, mataas talaga. Tapos yung coefficient mo, no, 1/10. 10 yung denominator mo. Compare mo sa 14 tsaka 24. Lalaki talaga yung moment. So, kasi ito class ay continuous beam pa, may kadugtong. So, nagre-require siya na mataas na negative bending moment. Okay, so, nakadepende naman yung AS mo sa negative bend, sa moment natin. Um, yun, going back here, sana tayo. So, doon tayo sa minimum area of the steel. So, in summary, so yan, ang mga AS natin. So, iba-iba yung requirements, no? Let's say we are analyzing this slab. No? Para-paras naman sila 270. Tapos dito, we are analyzing this slab, 270, 270. Tapos nag-286 dyan. Biglang nagbago. So, dito kasi, hindi AS yung pinaka-final answer. Ang final answer natin is spacing. If you have area of the steel per 1 meter length of your slab, 1 meter strip rather, so ilan ang bakal na kailangan mo doon? Ano yung spacing? So, ang final answer kasi natin dito is spacing. Kung magkakaiba-iba yung um, kung magkakaiba-iba yung ating bakal diyan, yung area, magkakaiba-iba yung spacing. Kung titingnan niyo to class, yung detailing ng slab, okay, kung ano yung spacing mo sa mid-span, yun na rin yung spacing mo sa support. Okay? So, yun na rin yung spacing mo ng bakal sa support. Okay? So, yun na yung spacing mo dyan. Pwede ring mas malawak dito, pwedeng mas masinsin. Dito mas masinsin no? Mas maraming bakal. Tapos dito, mas maluwag. So, pwedeng, gano'n, no? Parehas yung sa support, tas iba sa mid-span. Okay? Parehas sa support, pwede iba sa mid-span. Pwede namang ito, i-ano mo rin to eh. Ito hindi na bend. Pwedeng gano'n, ibe-bend up mo rin to. Lahat naka-bend up. So, hindi naman kasi necessary itong bakal na to. Kasi wala siyang sinasagot. Para saan siya? Parang naging compression bar siya ng strip na to. Okay? So, you can have the uniform spacing from mid-span para madali siyang i-layout sa construction. Uniform spacing sa mid-span tsaka sa support. Yun yung pinakamadaling i-layout. So, kapag masyado ka kasing naging strict, halimbawa, iba-iba yung space, ang hirap niyang gawin sa site. So, usually, yung ginagawa, sinasame na lang yung spacing doon sa mid-span at tsaka doon sa support. Lahat ng slab, lahat ng slab, makikita niyo dyan sa schedule of slab, isa lang ang, isa lang yung space. Halimbawa, may one-way slab tayo na ganitong type. Para-parehas na yan ng nagiging spacing regardless of the length nila. Halimbawa, magkaiba yung slab ng length. Pero nagiging parehas lang yung spacing nila in terms of the shorter dimension. Okay, so kaya ang ginagawa natin, pipiliin lang natin class. If you are designing a lot of one-way slab, piliin mo na lang yung may pinakamataas na moment. Okay? Then, yung mataas na moment na yan, yun yung magiging reference mo for the spacing no, of reinforcement parallel to the shorter span. Okay, so ganito mangyayari dyan, class. Itong area of steel na yan, siya na yung magiging governing area of steel sa lahat ng slab natin. Mapa mid-span man siya or support of the slab. Okay, para uniform yung spacing. Medyo mahirap kasing gawin yan kapag iba-iba yung spacing. Pwede siguro if you have a large project para mas magiging patipid ka. Kung ito lang naman yung requirement mo, di ba, bakit mo lalagyan ng ganito? Okay, but for residential, vertical structure, pag mga infrastructure na mga malalawak, yun yung usually na nilalagyan ng yung iba yung nagiging details kada slab. Okay, but for simplification, we will just use no, similar details of slab na lang for the entire floors. Okay, so we will be solving the spacing of the slab using this one, 316. Before let's solve this with a given AS. Let's solve the spacing. Imagine mo, meron kang AS. This is your 1,000. 1,000 millimeter. So na-solve mo yung area ng bakal mo na kailangan mo sa 1,000 millimeter. So ang gagawin natin, if we have an AS dyan, ilan ang magiging spacing nila? Remember, we calculate the number of bars by AS over area ng bars. Ngayon, ibig sabihin, ito yung bilang ng bakal sa 1 meter mo na haba. Ngayon, gagawin natin na, aalamin natin yung spacing nila. So, technically class, all you have to do is, you have the N, diba? May N ka para malaman yung spacing. Yung 1,000, i-divide mo by number of bars. Yun ang spacing ng bakal doon. So, ganun yung mangyayari dito. So, you have the N is equal to AS, spacing is equal to 1,000, AS, tapos tataas sa area ng bar. And ito yung magiging formula natin for calculating the spacing. Area ng bar times 1,000 over AS. AS, ito yung nag-govern kanina, no? Yung pinaka maraming requirement ng bakal. Yun yung gagamitin natin as AS. So, then you have to compare that kasi hindi pwedeng lumampas ka doon sa maximum spacing. Baka yung spacing mo sobrang luwag. Di ba, remember from the design of stirrups, we always want the masinsin na spacing. Mas masinsin kasi, mas safe. Baka kasi sobrang luwag niyan, lumampas sa 3H, lesser daw ng 3H and 450. So, let's check yung 3H and 450. Remember, H is the thickness of the slab, yung na-compute natin kanina na 135. I-check natin yan dyan. So, let's see. Let's compute. Area ng bar. So, we are using 10 millimeter diameter of main bar per hour slab. So, 10 square pi over 4 over 316 times 1,000 because we are considering, again, 1,000. We are counting the number of bars per 1,000 millimeter or 1 meter strip. This is 248.554. 3 times H is 405. And you have 405. So, and then you have 450 here. So, with that, obviously, we are going to select the smallest value. Pinakamaliit dyan. Kasi that's the safest. No, yung pinakamaliit. So, this will be our spacing of the slab. Okay, the spacing parallel to the short span. So, yun yung gagamitin natin sa support at saka sa mid-span na spacing. 245. Usually, this is uh, how we create a schedule of slab. Okay? So, parallel to the short span, okay, top bars natin is 100 millimeters. Bottom bars, so, parallel to the short span. Okay, so, top bars natin nasa support. Okay, 245. Then, bottom bars natin nasa mid-span. Okay? Um, just to show to you a sample, another way of showing um, the schedule of slab, a schedule of reinforcement sa slab natin. Sa para to the long span, wala tayong wala tayong bakal main bar dito na de-design based on moment. Naka-base lang siya sa temperature bars. Okay? So kaya naka-blanco siya diyan. Pero meron siyang pwede kang mag-footnote dito na 10 mm tunay actually di pa natin na de-design to yung temperature bars. Design muna natin to. Yung temperature bars na ilalagay parallel to the long span. So, ganito kasi yung bakal natin. Pag tumingin tayo sa, balik tayo dito sa figure natin. Pag tumingin tayo sa cross-section na to, ganyan yung bakal. Ganyan yung bakal. Ay, sorry. Ganyan yung bakal. Yan, nakaganyan. Saan nilalagay yung temperature bar dyan? So, parallel to the longer span. Nandiyan yung mga temperature bars. Okay? Ganyan po siya. So, how do we design the temperature bars? So, this is the next step. So, ito na yung main bars natin. Pwede mong i-blanco yan. Then, mag-note ka na lang dito na provide 10 millimeters. So, ito kukumpitin natin to. So, let's compute that. The temperature bar or shrinkage bars. So, the minimum ratio of the shrinkage and temperature reinforcement area to gross concrete area is shown in this table. Sabi dito, wala ka na i-compute na bending moment, ha? So, naka-base na lang siya dito sa minimum requirement of the code. So, the minimum ratio is ratio to class. Ibig sabihin, ratio siya 0.002 okay, ng temperature reinforcement AS temp over area ng gross. So, kumbaga, parang sinabi na rin natin, AS ng temperature is equal to 0.002 area ng gross. Parang ganyan na lang din yung sinabi natin dito. 0.002 area ng gross. Halos same ng formula with the minimum reinforcement natin. Pero yun 424.4.3.2. Kung babalikan natin, yan ay hindi, ayan, 407.6.1.1. Magkaiba sila ng provision. Ito 424. Okay, temperature reinforcement. So, yan yung gagamitin nating formula. AS minimum for temperature to This is parallel to the longer span. 0.002 area of the gross. Area ng gross natin, we are just going to consider 1,000 millimeter pa rin. No? So, parang nagko-consider naman na tayo nito ng ganito na strip kasi we are going to provide reinforcement parallel to the longer span. So, 1 meter strip din ang gagamitin natin dyan for the area of the gross. Pero again, you don't have to calculate any bending moment parallel to the longer span. Yung kanina lang ang kailangan natin na moment. Parallel to the shorter span. So, tandaan nyo na lang na kailangan natin ng 1,000 din dito na width para sa area ng gross natin is 1,000 times the thickness. Almost similar lang kanina. Okay, but again, this is for temperature bars. So, ito na yun. Wala na tayo ko-compare dyan. Kukonsolve na lang natin yung required spacing. Similar formula kasi we want to identify the number of bars para sa bilang ng sa area of bars na yan for 1,000 millimeters. So, ito yung na-derive natin kanina, no, na formula if you want to calculate the spacing. But, if you are going to compare this doon sa main bars, 5H siya. Doon kasi 3H lang eh. Dito 5H. Pero 450 pa rin to. 5H and 450 mm. So, this is equal to 290. This is 675. Obviously, you have to select this here, the smallest value. So, this one governs. And we round for the spacing, no, for the uniformity ng answer natin, para pare-parehas tayo, if we are asked to identify the value in whole number, okay, we round down to the nearest 5 millimeters. So your answer is 290. Katulad ng answer kanina, dito kasi 248, pero we round down divisible by 5. Round down kasi yung pababa is safe spacing. Round down. 245 ang sagot natin dito. Year round. Then, di ba nasagot na natin class na yung temperature bar is 290. Pag gumawa tayo ng schedule, pwede mo siya ilagay dito. Pwede rin dito, pero note mo na sa parallel to the long span, naka temperature siya. Okay, katulad ng ganitong schedule of slabs. Okay? So, actually, hindi ko siya malipat. Okay, so this is a sample of schedule of slab. So, meron tayo ditong top. May actually kahit tanggalin mo na tong bottom na to. Okay, so for at support, ito lang naman talaga yung requirement. At support, ito lang ang requirement natin yung top bars. Pero ito kasi hindi siya naka-bend up. So yung schedule dito ay nakita nyo tong sample dito. Parang ganito yung orientation ng bakal. Dinedire-diretso na lang instead na i-bend up siya, dinedire-diretso na lang sa baba para hindi na nagbe-bend. Pwedeng ganun schedule. Okay. Kasi ito ay nakaano ako dito steel deck. Usually hindi na siya binebend. Pinapattern na lang siya dun sa steel deck. Okay. So, ayun. That's how, basta the important is dapat meron ka ditong bakal sa support sa bottom, ito yung na-design mo, and then sa top naman. Okay. Kung ayaw mo i-bend yan, pwede mo idedire-diretso to, tapos mangyari dyan, ayaw mo i-bend up yan, idedire-diretso mo to, tapos itong bakal mo sa taas, maglalagay ka pa rin. Mga putol lang na bakal. Putol na bakal to. Yan. Para hindi ka na mag-bend. Okay. So ito, idedire-diretso mo sila. Tapos ito, putol siya. Okay, so anong length niyan, sir? So, as per code, ito meron ditong guide for slab. So, L over 4, no? L over 4 for continuous slab. So, yung mga cut dito, L over 4. Kasi sa L over 4, yung moment diyan is near to zero na. Hindi mo naman na kailangan ng bakal sa ano, 'di ba? Sa zero yung moment. Theoretically, hindi mo kailangan ng bakal diyan. So that's how we design. So madali lang mag-design class ng slab as long as you have the value of moment. Parang beam lang siya. Okay? So ang final answer natin, this one. Oh, yan. We use uniform spacing no for mid-span and support for the entire slabs na yan. Yung one-way slabs na nakita natin doon sa sample problem. But sa exam natin, if kung ano lang yung tinanong, for example, design the mid-span, design the support, so magkaiba yung sagot doon, class ha? Okay. Tinanong lang yung mid-span na spacing, okay, mid-span na support, support na spacing. So, magkaiba yung sagot natin doon, class. Parang isosolve niya isa-isa. Halimbawa, dito. So, halimbawa, ito, pinadesign sa inyo to. Yan. So, ito yung determine the spacing at the support. So, support top bars yun, no? Determine the spacing at the support. So, iba yung spacing mo dyan. Dito, kasi 270 square millimeter to eh. Ito, 286 AS. So, magkaiba yung magiging spacing mo dyan. So, ganun yung mangyayari sa exam natin. No? Hindi natin i-generalize. Dito kasi generalize natin. Which is yung nangyayari sa actual. No? Isahan na lang para madali siyang i-layout. No? Hindi siya mahirap gawin sa site. So, hindi naman ganun masyadong kalaki yung difference nun when it comes to the spacing. Eh, imagine mo, no? 270 lang. 170, 380. Yan. And like sa beam, di ba? Ang tataas ng AS dyan eh. Abot ng 1,000. Yung mga AS natin dyan sa beam. So, yun. So, pag nilayout natin siya, ganito siya, guys. Yung main bars natin, mga nakabangka sila. Ang tawag dyan ng iba, nakabangka. Kasi ito yung temperature bars. Let's try to solve this problem. Now, this is actually a password exam problem. November 2019. The figure shows a one-way slab having a total depth of 200 millimeter with a 25 millimeter concrete cover. Again, if not mentioned nga yung concrete cover, anong gagamitin natin? If not mentioned, what is the minimum concrete cover for the slab? So that is what? Okay, 20 mm. No? If not mentioned sa problem, use 20 mm. Clear governing at the bottom, the steel reinforcement is 20 millimeter diameter. Spacing of steel reinforcement is 125 millimeter on centers. FC prime is 30. Considering 1 meter width of the slab, determine the moment capacity of the slab strip. Okay? So, 125 yung spacing nila. Yan. Okay, clear cover and total depth is of 200 millimeters. Okay? So, let's compare siyang analysis, baliktad lang, no? So, given yung spacing, so with that, di ba kaya nating solve yung AS? Solve natin yung AS, given the spacing. AS, ano nga, di ba, we were able to derive earlier a formula that uh, S is equal to AB times 1,000 over AS. So, with that, masasolve mo yung AS. Diba? So, AS, solve natin. We have AB, area ng bars to. So, area ng bar na gagamitin, individual area. So, we have 20 square, that is 20 millimeter diameter, pi over 4 times 1,000 over AS. Over S. Spacing natin is 125. Center to center spacing pala yun, Nako-compute natin. Not clear spacing. Center to center. So, ang may AS natin dito is 800 pi. Okay, so that is 800 pi. Let's store this value at BA na lang. 805. So, tama ba? Let's check. 2513. Yeah, tama. After that, pwede tayo mag-C is equal to T para makuha yung value ng A. Diba? So, C is equal to T compression 0.85 FC prime AB is equal to AS FY. So, with that, we can solve the value of A. Okay, so we have the ASFY. AS is stored at A times FY. We use 400 megapascal over 0.85. FC prime is 30 megapascal times A. We don't, sorry. We are solving value of A pala. Times B na, again, considering 1 meter strip. So, 1,000. Sabi na sa problem, considering 1 meter strip. Ano daw yung capacity? Every 1 meter strip. Diba? So, this is the value of A. So, let's store this at B. 39. So, let's see kung tama. Okay. Yung 39.424. Yan. So, may A ka na. Magmo-moment na tayo dito. So, A is 39. So, 39.424. Or, di ba, ang moment is equal to reduction factor 0.9, compression force times D minus A over 2. Compression force, ito yun. Yan. So, makuha na yung moment. Okay, this is hindi siya situational, no, nung board exam 2019. Isang tanong lang tungkol sa slab. So, 0.9 times reduction factor since we are, sorry, bakit mo sir nasabi na 0.9 agad yung reduction factor? Diba this is analysis, we have to check kung saan siya magfo-fall sa tension control section, compression control. So, we have to check the value of the strain. Kahit wag na strain eh. Yung C na lang versus the Cmax. Remember that? Tirahin natin. C over 8 ng wala pa pala tayong effective depth. Check natin. Yung C natin dito, lalampas ng Cmax. Kasi di ba pag lumampas ng Cmax, tension controlled na yon. Okay, doon sa 3 over 8 ng TT para mas mabilis yung pang-comparison. Instead na mag-strain pa tayo. Pwede naman, strain din. Lalampas siya ng, sige, strain na lang. Solve natin yung C tapos yung ET. Lalampas siya ng ano no, ng 0.005. Kasi nga one-way slab to. Ang taas ng compression block. Pwede mo lang skip yung reduction factor. Alam mo na agad na 0.9 yan. Tension control. Anyway, let's solve first the effective depth. 200 minus the concrete cover, 25, minus the diameter of the bar over 2. Okay, that is 20 mm diameter of the bar. So that the effective depth, 100 minus 25 minus 20. The answer is 165. Okay. So let's solve the value of C. Dito yung A. Tapos, yung beta pala natin ay iba kasi this is 30 megapascal. Let's solve the beta. 0.85. I believe you still remember the formula. 0.85, 05 over 7 ng 30 minus 28 megapascal. So, the value of beta is equal to 0.83. Or lang natin sa C. So, A is equal to beta C. A over, this is your C, 47. 47.174 millimeters. So, let's see. Ito, meron naman ako dito complete solution, guys. Pero hindi ko na pala kalumpit yung C dito. Diretso ko sa 0.9. Check ko lang yung ET natin, ha? Okay, so ET, ano nga formula ng ET? 0.003 0.003 C minus T all over C. Tama ba? D minus C, sorry. D minus C all over C. Okay, let's see. 0.003 D. D natin is stored at is 165. C na store sa C over C. Yun, no? 0.00 tatlo eh. 007. Ang laki. 0.007. Greater than 0.005. Meaning this is tension control section, thus the reduction factor is 0.9. Okay, so kailangan mag-proceed ka na dito. So pag nag-analyze ka ng slab, para kang nagde-design na laging 0.9 na reduction factor in plus. Okay? So, yun. Kaya 0.9 to ang reduction factor dito. So going back, so we proved na 0.9 nga ang reduction factor. 0.9, balik tayo dito sa pag-compute ng moment times 0.85 ng FC prime 30 megapascal 0.85 FC prime A, store natin sa B yan. A, B is 1,000 ml. B, 165 minus over 2. So, times natin negative 6 para maging kilonewton meter. So, the moment capacity, malaki, no? 131. Tama ba yun? Tama. 131.45 per kilonewton. Okay. Ito rin yung answer doon. That's how we analyze a slab. Pinalitan lang natin yung design kanina. Given yung S, you solve the ES, and then you equate C is equal to T. Okay? So let's proceed with the two-way slab. Okay, so design of two-way slab. Two-way slab is when a rectangular concrete slab is supported on 4 sides and long to short is less than 2.0. So, kabaliktaran ng one-way slab. So now, the deflection is both sides na, both direction. So thus, we have to calculate the moment both direction. Kanina kasi, we just calculate the moment parallel to the short direction. Ngayon, we need the moment parallel to longer dimension. And this much difficult to calculate these values of moments. The approximate analysis earlier is not applicable to use. So we have ways to calculate this. The direct design method for non-precessed slabs and equivalent frame method. So, code citations from 1971 to 2014 contain provisions for the use of direct design method and equivalent frame method. So these methods are well established and covered in available text. These provisions for gravity loads have been removed from the code because they are considered to be only two of several analysis methods currently used for the design of two-way slabs. The direct design method and equivalent frame method, however, they may still be used for the analysis of two-way slab or gravity loads. Yung gagamitin natin ngayon, direct design method, wala na siya sa current code. Mas mahirap na kasi yung gamit ngayon sa pag-design ng slab. And we need a separate discussion for that. For the design of yung current method na dapat gamitin. Okay, so that method is actually the we call that under section so we have a section iba na kasi yung method no for the slab under NSCP. So anyway, we have the different discussion for this. Medyo mahaba siya. So to discuss itong two-way slab. Yan. So mahaba siya. We need the alpha. So mahaba yung solution niya. So instead of using this direct design method, so gagamit tayo ng coefficient method. Hindi direct design method ang gagamitin natin. So may mga na-establish kasi ng mga alternative design ways na may mga coefficient na so that we can easily identify the values of moments. Okay. So, eto yun, class. As you can see here, we will call this moment coefficient method. So, these values are also approximate moments para makuha natin yung mga necessary moments. Kasi ang goal lang talaga natin, malaman yung moment. Halimbawa, you consider this strip. Ano yung moment dito? Ano yung moment dyan? Ano yung moment sa midspan? You consider this strip. Ano yung moment dito, dito, tsaka sa gitna. So that's how we, that's the main idea of getting of designing the slab. Pwede mo yan, gamitin finite element analysis pero mas complex siya, mas magra-run siya, matagal siya mag-run sa computer. Which is yun na yung ginagawa ngayon sa mga software. Naka-finite element yung pag-design ng slab. Mas accurate yung values ng moment doon. So, meron din equivalent frame method, parang nagpa-frame analysis ka. Pero ito, shortcut to guys. No? Kung gusto mo mapabilis yung pag-design ng slab mo, two-way slab. May mga coefficient siya. So, multiplier siya, neto, CQULN squared. Okay? C is the moment coefficient. Titingnan mo lang dito sa table na to. So, this was used previously pa sa mga codes. No? Pero, approximate kasi to. Pressure load, clear span, M is the ratio of the short to long span. How do we use this? How do we use this? All you have to do is to identify kung nasaan siya. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. So you're looking at all of the edges. Kanina kasi sa one-way slab, you're just looking at the edge of the shorter span. Let's say this is your shorter span. Titingnan mo na yung edge niya kung may support ba yan or discontinuous. Dito lahat na ng side. Kasi two direction nga yung flow ng loads dito. If that is interior panels, ibig sabihin, ito siya. Ito yung slab na i-analyze mo. Interior panels yan. At sa gitna, lahat may katabi sa gilid. One edge discontinuous. Isa lang yung discontinuous. Katulad nito. One edge lang discontinuous. Kasi sa the rest, continuous siya. Ito rin, one edge discontinuous for this slab. Yan. Okay? So, excuse me. Two edge discontinuous. Usually, mga nasa corner yan. Three edge discontinuous. Usually, mga nakahiwalay. Di ba, maglalagay pa tayo dito ng slab. Nakahiwalay siya na ano, no? Column dyan, may column. Three edge discontinuous. All edges discontinuous. Walang katabi yung slab talaga. Solo lang siya. Then meron tayong column na short span and long span. Identify mo, for the short span, ito yung strip parallel to the short span. You are identifying the values of moments. Meron tayong continuous edge, discontinuous edge, and positive moment. Positive moment, obviously, sa midspan siya. For example, we are analyzing this strip. This slab, meron siyang shorter, meron siyang longer span. So, yung strip natin para to the short span, ito yon, short span. Then, both sides, meron tayong one edge discontinuous. Okay? So, one edge discontinuous. If we're going to look at the continuous, both naman kasi is continuous edge. Continuous edge. Continuous edge. Wala siyang discontinuous. Nandito kasi sa side yung discontinuous. Sa parallel siya sa longer span. Ito kasi parallel to sa short span. Okay? Short span. So, titingin tayo sa both side are continuous edge. So, ano magiging value dyan ng, ito yung mga C natin or coefficient. So, alamin mo dyan. So, paano malalaman yan? Values of M. M is ratio of the short to long. So, 3/5. 3 over 5. Okay, 3 over 5. 3 over 5. That is equal to 0.6. Okay, sakto, nandiyan yan siya. What if wala siya sa wala siya dito sa nabanggit? Halimbawa, yung ratio is nasa 0.67. So we are going to interpolate. Interpolate natin yung values nila. So anyway, ganun naman yung sample problem natin. So ganun lang, no? Tapos, i-apply mo na yung formula natin. ln, same pa rin, clear span. And multiply natin sa 1.0 para maging kilonewton meter yung load. Actually, ito yung QU times 1.0 kilonewton per meter. Halos parehas pa rin doon sa approximate analysis. WULN squared. Tapos may coefficient ka lang dito. Para siyang, pero kasi naka-numerator siya, kaya decimal siya. So let's try to solve this problem. The floor framing plan of a reinforced concrete structure is shown in the figure. All rectangular beams are 300 mm wide and 300 mm deep. Unit weight of concrete is 24, FC is 28, FY345. Concrete cover is 20 mm, and diameter of the bore is 10 mm. Design EFHI. Isa lang pina-design. EFHI. Ito yung dimension natin, 7 by 5. And we have the floor finish, electromechanical, ceiling, and live load. So first, let's compute the slab thickness. So yung formula kanina is actually uh you cannot use those formulas for the slab thickness kasi for one-way slab siya. So sa NSCP, meron siyang formula for two-way slab. Ito, medyo mahaba nga lang class. Pag-compute ng minimum thickness of the two-way slab using this provision. Pero meron tayong shortcut. Ito na lang muna ang gamitin natin, yung shortcut. I-discuss na lang natin sa other discussion yung NSCP mismo. Kasi medyo mahaba ito eh. Siguro isang tanong na ito, isang quiz na eh. Thickness pa lang eh. Slab. So dito na lang. This can be still used naman pag nag-design. Safe naman yung lumalabas dito. Yun nga lang, hindi siya economical. Kasi pag ginamit mo yung NSCP provision, mas maninipis yung nakukuha doon. Mas economical. Dito, more on approximate lang siya. This is how we solve the minimum thickness of the slab. Okay, approximate lang din to class, no? Unless we use the provisions. Kasi more on experimental yun. So this is all you have to do is to get the perimeter over 180. Perimeter of the slab that we are identifying. So this is 5,000 by perimeter neto. Center to center of the beam. Over 180. So that is 133. So we round up for the thickness. So we are going to use 135 millimeters. So the M over 7, the M is 5 over 7. So we need these later for the calculation of moments for the shorter span. 0.714. So we solve the QU. QU is 1.2 of dead load given earlier. So this is I guess this is floor finish, ceiling, electromechanical ceiling, and the unit weight of concrete times the thickness of the slab. You cannot solve the factored load, QU, if you don't have the thickness of the slab. That's the first thing to do lagi. Solve the thickness of the slab. Plus 1.6 of your live load. Given naman yan. So you have the QU, 12.248 kilopascal. So now, considering that short direction, LN natin is 4.7 meters. Looking at the figure again, this is 5 meters. Pero yung width kasi ng beam natin, 300 mm. So, dapat slab to slab lang. Clear span lang. 5 meters minus 300 mm, that is 4.7 meters. Yun yung LN na ginamit dito. Ayan pala. So, we're identifying the values of moment here, values of moment dito, values of moment dito. So, we need the coefficient. Pero, ang value kasi ng M natin is 0.714. Ito yung gagamitin natin. At nag-fall siya sa case number 2. One edge discontinuous. So, we need the values of moment at continuous edge. Ito yun. Continuous edge, continuous edge. Then, we need the moment at the positive moment sa midspan. So, we need the corresponding values of coefficient. So, under siya ng 0.714. 714 is between 0.8 and 0.7. So, hindi ito yung gagamitin mo, hindi ito. Mag-interpolate tayo. I believe you know how to interpolate. This is linear interpolation. No? Yes, marunong. Okay, you can use mode 3-2 kasi linear interpolation para mabilis, no? Or delta y over delta x, parang ganun siya, no? Yung concept ng linear interpolation. So, we need the values of, let's say mag-interpolate muna tayo dito. Kailangan natin yung bit ng value nila. Yung, how do we do that? So, h, lagyan natin to, h minus, ito, then, 0.55, yung denominator natin. So, h minus ito over 0.55 minus ito. Ang numerator mo naman, mayroon kang 0.714 dyan, minus ito, divided by ito, minus 7. Or, mas mabilis dyan, kung ayaw mong mag linear or dali lang siya sa delta y over delta x. Pwede ka mag-mode 3-2. Okay? Type mo 0.8. Yung x mo 0.8, 0.7. Okay, then, yung corresponding y nila, ito yung magiging y value natin, 0.55. Then, we are 0.062. So, nilagay lang natin yung corresponding values of m natin. And then, corresponding values of coefficient nasa y. So, we are after for the values of y. At value of x na 0.714. Okay? So, how do we do that? So, mode sa 3 to, di ba? So, punta ka lang sa regression. Pag nakakanon kayo, regression. Yan, regression. And then, we need the value of y hat. So, y hat. So, kasi may given tayo na x na 0.714. Okay? So, answer, 0.06. Let's check kung nasa gitna ba siya niyan. Obviously, di ba? Kung ito mas mababa, tapos tataas tayo dito, so in between siya. Not literally na gitnang-gitna, basta nasa within the range, di ba? So, 0 point. Yan. Nakuha natin by using interpolation. We also need to perform that here. Kailangan din natin, sorry, dito lang, sa midspan. Kasi magiging parehas na yung coefficient dito, tsaka dito. Meaning parehas yung moment nila. Parehas ng coefficient, parehas silang continuous edge. So, sa midspan naman, class, let's compute the coefficient at the midspan. Mode 3 to ulit. 0.8, then 0.7. Oh, sorry, 0.7. Then coefficient, corresponding coefficient at positive moment sa midspan, 0.041. Then, 0.047. So, easy lang, nasa apps. Then regression, we want the value of y at x na 0.714. The answer is 0.046. Checking, malapit siya sa 0.47. Tama. Kasi ang 0.71 malapit sa 0.7. Okay, we now have the value of coefficient. Ang formula lang naman, coefficient times QU ln squared. At dito yung ln squared, wala na yung negative bending moment na get the average ln. Wala nang ganun. So, kung ano yung ln, yun na yun. No? So, ito yung coefficient natin, class. Okay, at h, parang edge lang siya, no? At e, ang coefficient, papunta sa e. Na-name na lang natin na e kasi malapit siya sa e. Nandun siya sa support e. And then sa h, dito. And then he, sa midspan, 0.46. Parehas lang yung h tsaka e na coefficient dahil parehas naman sila ang continuous edge. Then, solve na natin. Okay, so we have same pa rin ng formula for anyway, for this is for two-way slab. Okay. minimum AS for two-way slab. So, ina-compute natin kaninang moment, ito na sila. Di ba ang formula natin? Coefficient times QU times ln squared. ln is 4.7. Yan. And then squared. And then times 1.0. Ito na yung mga moment. Then, how do we solve the AS? Similar approach na. Para ka nag-beam ulit. Beam cross-section. You have the B, you have the effective depth, You have the AS. Pwedeng hindi ka na dumaan dito kung ang solution mo C is equal to T. Tapos yung MU na 0.9 C D minus A over 2. Just like what we've done earlier. So may moment tayo, we compute the value of the AS. Similar na. Ang pinakaiba lang ng approach dito, yung pagkuha ng moment. Kasi yun lang naman kailangan mo pag nagde-design ng slab. Yung value ng moment. Ano yung value ng moment na yun? Then the rest, beam na yun. Analysis ng beam. So, ito yung nakuha nating AS. We want to have a uniform spacing. Doon, uniform spacing sa mid-span neto sa support ng and then sa support. Then of course, you need to also to before you also need to solve the minimum spacing. Same pa rin 0.002 area ng gross. Pero dito ang mag-govern 499. Overall, ano go-govern dyan? 499.4. Kasi you want to have a uniform spacing eh. So, in solving the spacing, yung ginamit natin, yung pinakamataas na tatlo. 499.4. But during this exam, ang gagawin natin dito, papa-identify ko kung ano yung spacing sa midspan. Iba yung support, ano yung spacing sa midspan. Possible ganun, possible. No? Kasi dito, we generalize the spacing all throughout the strip. Okay? Parehas na lang sa midspan, parehas na lang sa support. Ang kinuha natin, yung mataas na ES. Okay? So, ang lumabas na spacing dyan, class, is 157.270. Anyway, the maximum spacing is 2H for 3H to so one-way slab. This is 3H for two-way slab. And 450. Okay, 157, pero ang nag-govern pa rin dito, 157. You round down to nearest 5 millimeters. The spacing natin, 155. Ayun, moment lang. Kailangan lang natin ito. Pero pagdating sa class, dun sa direct design method na currently nasa NSCP, cited ni NSCP, matagal siya, mahaba yung solution. So, instead of using that coefficient, imagine this solution. Ito lahat, 30 pages lahat to. Isang slab lang to, guys. Ito yung solution for 30 slides for just a one strip. One slab pa lang to. So, medyo matagal siya i-analyze. Actually, ano pa lang to eh. Ang dinesign ko pa lang dito, yung PowerPoint na to is one side lang. Ayun, tama. Ito, X-strip pa lang. So, meron pa yung mid-strip. So, ganun kasi pag magde-design ng two-way slab. Anyway, so this is a separate discussion na lang for two-way slab. Baka hindi na rin natin isama sa exam yun yung ganung two-way slab na discussion kasi sobrang haba niya. Haba talaga ng solution. Sobrang haba ng solution, guys. Okay? So, ito na lang ang focus natin sa exam. Pero discuss ko pa rin yun, no? yung direct design method. Again, ang focus lang nito is actually we just determine the moment. Then look at the table. Given naman tong table, obviously, exam. Ang hirap nito kung kapasaduhin mo lahat to. Yan. Short span, we're done. Okay. Next, para naman sa longer span. Ganun din, identify natin yung kailangan nating dito madali na lang. Kasi when we look at the long span, all values of M, so may coefficient ka na agad. Hindi ka na mag-interpolate. Hindi mo na i-divide yung shorter span to longer span. Hindi mo na identify to. May coefficient ka na. So, check mo na lang yung LN mo. Magbabago yung LN ha, parallel to the longer span. Kasi again, LN is the length of your strip. Okay, ito lang ha. The clear span of the strip. So, if you have 7 meters, 6.7 yan kasi deducted, reduced by the dimension of the beam. Take note of the dimension of the beam. Nagsusupport sa kanya. So, yun na mismo yung magiging factors niya. Take note lang, this is for continuous edge. Asan siya? Ito yun. sa E. Okay, for continuous edge. For discontinuous edge, nasa F siya. And for the mid-span, ito yun. Okay, baka kasi mapagbaliktad nyo yung discontinuous tsaka continuous edge, mid-span, positive moment doon. The discontinuous edge and continuous, sa mga edge, negative bending moment yun. Okay, now, you know the coefficient. Okay, each of them sa E, sa F, tsaka EF, sa mid-span, ito yung mga moment natin using the same formula. Okay, but different LN, take note of that. Kasi longer span na tayo. So, parehas natin dinidesign yung main bars sa longer span at saka sa shorter span. Walang temperature bars. Okay? So, walang temperature bars. Lagi ako may pandito dito sa tanong ng 2. Determine the spacing of the temperature bars. So, anong sagot mo? Not applicable. Walang temperature bars ang two-way slab. Kasi parehas natin dinidesign ang shorter span tsaka longer span na reinforcement. May temperature bars lang sa one-way slab. Yan yun, may points na kayo doon pag naalala nyo na walang temperature bar sa two-way slab. Okay? Walang shrinkage bars doon. So, for the AS mean, let's check ito yung minimum area natin. For the minimum area, pero ano ba na-solve natin dito? If you have the moment, analysis ng beam lang dito, class, ha? Similar effective depth. Okay? Then, may makukuha kang AS, tas kada AS, sa baba ng AS mean, mag-govern yung AS dito. So with that, ang spacing niya, gamit na itong 691. 691 ang kinuha natin dito. Magkakaiba-iba yung spacing ng midspan, discontinuous and continuous. Pero we want to have a uniform spacing all throughout the length of this longer span. We want to have similar spacing. Kasi pag iba-iba yung spacing yun, yung bakal mo, mapuputol-putol. Para kang nag-design ng beam. Putol-putol yung bakal. Para kang may bigat. Mahirap gawin sa construction. Marami kang putol. Unless, i-bend up mo na lang siya. So, meron kang bakal. Ang ginagawa dyan ng mga steelman, inaangat na lang, i-lay mo na nilang nasa bottom bars. Tapos, bigla nilang i-bend up to. So, aangat na yan. Mas madali siya sa construction. So, i-bend na lang nila yung pataas. Anyway, ang spacing dito, class, with the 691 na AS is 110, kasi 113, round down. So, ang governing spacing, parallel to the shorter span, is 110. Kanina sa longer span, so ito yung detailing natin. So, for the detailing, parallel to the short span, 10 mm at 155 on center. Sa parallel to the long span, 10 mm at 110 mm on center. So, pag ginawa siya, ang one-way slab class, ganito, no? Ano dyan, nakasunod sa kanya yung temperature bars. Susunod lang. Parallel to the longer span. Pero ang two-way slab, may paganito ka dito sa short direction. Gagawin natin siyang 3. Meron ka dito paganyan. Tapos sa long direction may paganyan. Meron paganito rin sa short direction. Ganyan yung detailing niya. So, bababa dito. So, ganyan yung detailing sa two-way slab. Naka-drop yung sa gitna ng midspan sa mga support sa taas. Okay? Ayun. That's how we detail. That's it now for the design of two-way slab.